In Kazakhstan, opening the theatrical season with the opera Abai has long become a tradition. But it's more than a gesture, it's a cultural statement. This production brings together the spiritual compass of the nation and the finest achievements of musical art. For the Astana opera, Abai sets the tone, a high artistic bar that marks the beginning of the season. It's a powerful reminder of the theater's mission to preserve and present national classics to the world. Yet Abai doesn't just open the season in Astana. Across the country, it often marks the start of the creative year. It's like a shared cultural code. Kazakhstan seems to say, we begin with what unites us, with what strengthens our moral and spiritual values. Abai is a symbol of conscience, justice, and the pursuit of enlightenment. And each new season that begins in his name is a tribute to the enduring legacy of a great thinker.
Абай – это наш духовный отец, это мыслитель, который сформулировал нравственные и моральные ориентиры.
Abai is more than a historical figure, he's our spiritual guide, a thinker who shapes the moral and ethical foundations of our society. Choosing Abai to open the season sends a clear message. True culture begins with inner values. It begins with the pursuit of truth, justice and freedom, all of which are embodied in Abai.
Казахского музыкального фольклора, казахской музыкальной традиции, песенного творчества Абая.
What makes the opera Abai so special is its seamless blend of Kazakh folk music, traditional melodies, Abai's own songs, and the structure of European classical opera.
Универсальная фигура – это образ.
At its core is a timeless figure, Abai himself. He transcends his era, remaining relevant because he represents eternal values.
Его образ актуален всегда, потому что он воплощает в себе вечные духовные ценности.
The opera Abai premiered in Almaty in 1944, born from the collaboration of three cultural giants, Akhmet Zhubanov, Latif Kamidi, and Mukhtar Oezov. Zhubanov brought deep knowledge of Kazakh musical heritage. Kamidi contributed his mastery of orchestration and choral composition. Oezov, the author of The Path of Abai, gave the opera its literary soul. Together, they created more than a performance. They laid the foundation for Kazakhstan's national opera. Abai united folklore, poetry, and European form into a new artistic language. And even after 80 years, its message still resonates.
Он үшінші маусымызды бастап жатырмыз театрымызда. Биыл Абай операсымен
We're launching the 13th season at our theater, and this year we're opening with the opera Abai. It's been 10 years since our first staging of Abai, and now, in honor of the 180th anniversary of our national poet, we're bringing it back. There is so much to say about this opera. We perform it not only here in Astana, but on international stages as well. We're presenting it to the world, and we plan to continue touring with it in the future.
Әлде болашақта жоспарлар бар, басқа елдерге шығып, Абай операсын басқа елге паш ету деген жоспарда тұр.
Abai has long crossed Kazakhstan's borders. Its performances have graced stages in Germany, France, Italy, and Japan, and even aired on BBC Radio in London. Everywhere, audiences responded with admiration. The secret to its universal appeal is simple. The story speaks to everyone. It's a drama of love, a search for justice, a clash between envy and nobility, human themes that need no translation. The music, rooted in Kazakh folk melodies and Abai's own songs, blends effortlessly with European operatic form. It's both familiar and fresh, traditional and timeless. Through Abai, Kazakhstan shows the world that its culture is not only ancient and rich, but also modern, refined, and worthy of the global stage.
Опера «Абай» по праву стала визитной карточкой
The opera Abai has rightfully become the signature of Kazakhstan's national operatic art.
оперы Вагнера.
Just as Boris Godunov is for Russia, Wagner's operas for Germany and Faust for France. Abai has been performed abroad many times. In 2018, it was staged in Italy, the birthplace of opera, at Teatro Carlo Felice in Genoa, and it was met with great success and genuine interest from a discerning Italian audience.
И живой интерес у искушенной итальянской публики. А в 2024 году
In 2024, it was performed at Russia's Bolshoi Theatre, again to great acclaim. We truly believe that Abai, composed by Ahmet Chubanov and Latif Hamidi, with the libretto by Mukhtar Uezov, has become a cultural brand of Kazakhstan.
Ахмета Жубанова и Латифа Хамиди на либретто Мухтара Ауэзова стала культурным брендом Казахстана.
In this production, Abai's character is revealed through his influence on others. He supports the love between Aidar and Dajar, defends their right to happiness, mentors the younger generation, and exposes the envy and deceit of Azim. This is not a biographical portrait, it's a poetic embodiment of Abai's ideals, a commitment to enlightenment, honesty, and spiritual freedom.
Абай – человек творческой души, как и мы.
Abai was a man of creative spirit, just like us. I always say, our profession is beautiful because it's about creation. We create something new, something beautiful, so that life becomes brighter and more meaningful for our audience. That's what Abai did too. Through his poetry, his lyrics, his music, he filled the hearts of the Kazakh people.
Наполнял сердца.
Abai gave us a love for science, for knowledge, for poetry and art. He always urged us to grow. And that ideal, that figure we strive toward, should live within all of us.
Человек, к которому мы идем, пытаемся дойти, вот все-таки это всегда должно быть в нас во всех.
Performers often say the role of Abai is one of the most demanding in Kazakh opera. It calls for maturity, philosophical depth, and personal experience. You can perform it for decades and still discover new shades of meaning. For artists, this role feels like a mission to channel the voice of conscience and reason through music, a voice that still speaks with urgency and relevance today.
Мен үшін үлкен бақыт және өте қуаныштымын осы еліміздегі.
For me, it's a great joy and honor to step onto the stage and perform one of the leading roles, the role of Ajar.
Астана қаласының
To perform this part on one of the country's largest stages is deeply meaningful. All Kazakh operas feel close to me through their language, their imagery.
тілдік жағынан болсын, образ жағынан болсын, маған өзіме жақын.
They reflect our national spirit, our Kazakh character. That's why performing them brings me such pleasure. And Ajar's role is especially dear to my heart.
Мен үшін үлкен ләззат сыйлайды деп айтсам болады. Соның ішінде осы Ажар партиясын орындау мен өте жақсы көремін.
At Astana Opera, staging Abai is more than a return to cultural roots. It's a part of a broader strategy where national classics stand alongside global masterpieces. The Young Theatre opens its season with a monumental Kazakh opera, then moves on to Verdi, Puccini, and contemporary Kazakh works. This balance gives the repertoire depth and diversity. The production by Giancarlo Del Monaco and Alan Buribayev is grand in scale, featuring monumental sets, costumes by Italian designers, and vivid folk scenes that turn the performance into a visual epic. Yet the true power of the opera lies in its music, the seamless blend of Abai's songs, traditional cue melodies, and European operatic drama. This synthesis makes the performance vibrant and accessible, not only to Kazakh audiences, but to viewers anywhere in the world. Our task is to carry this legacy forward with care, to pass it on to future generations. At the same time, we wanted to show, through our staging of Abai, how relevant he remains in the 21st century. As for the orchestration, I didn't alter or revise anything. My role was editorial, refining the score by adding missing phrasing, correcting contradictory markings, adjusting dynamics from soft to loud, and placing accents where they truly belong.
Говорится всем, да, акценты расставить правильно.
It's all about tempo dramaturgy, how the pacing shapes the emotional arc. My work was about gently brushing off the dust without disturbing the living essence of the music, clarifying the structure, making the meaning more transparent, especially in how tempo relationships are expressed. The dramaturgy is clear, classical, and deeply expressive.
Очень ясная, классическая, можно сказать.
The opera Abai is defined by its unique musical architecture, a seamless fusion of Abai's own songs and traditional Kazakh kui melodies. Composers Zhubanov and Kamidi wove these elements into the score without losing their national flow. As a result, the audience doesn't hear stylized folklore. They hear living folk music reborn in an academic form. The music lines reflect Abai's philosophical depth, from tender lyricism to powerful dramatic surges. That's what makes this production so special. It connects the listener to the soul of the people, preserving its breath in every measure.
Большой успех опере принесла, конечно, и музыка.
The opera Abai has been so successful largely because of its highly quality-inspired music. The arias are deeply melodic, and that melodic quality is closely tied to Kazakh folk traditions and Abai's own songs. All these elements are integrated smoothly into the opera's overall structure. The opera features several of Abai's original songs. Айттым сәлем қаламқас, ұзын қайың, қараңғы түнде тау қалғып. Composer Zhubanov also incorporated key melodies like Қосалқа Абай Дәулеткерей and the folk key Mergen. All of this folk music is integrated organically and harmoniously into the score, making the opera feel both authentic and emotionally rich.
Today, Abai is more than a tribute to a great thinker. It's a message to the future, built on ideas that remain powerful, a love of knowledge, a pursuit of justice, and deep respect for the individual. I performed the role of Abai in Almaty for 20 consecutive seasons. I opened the opera year after year. And now, my students carry that legacy. Talgat Musabayev, Aidar, Jean Tapin. I taught them for 10 years at the conservatory. We have talented youth. We have a world-class theater in Astana filled with audiences. Abai once said, there are wise songs and there are empty ones. Some cut the listener's ear, but when you hear a melody like the words of a sage, it lifts the soul and elevates the heart. Each new season that begins with Abai feels like a reminder. Theater is not just a stage, it's a space for reflection and growth. Audiences don't see a static exhibit. They witness living art that invites contemplation. Young singers and musicians find inspiration in Abai's image, while audiences discover a source of spiritual strength.
Впечатления очень волнительные. Опера великого Абая, она...
The opera Abai feels honest and universally understandable. My relatives are performing in it, so I came to support them, to listen, to watch, and to reconnect with the memory of the great Abai.
Мои родственники, поэтому я пришла посмотреть, поддержать их, пришла, чтобы послушать, посмотреть, еще раз возобновить воспоминания об великом Абае.
Now, as always, we place great hope in our youth. This opera is especially meaningful for young people. I looked around the hall and saw so many young faces that truly warmed my heart.
Қарап отырсам маңайымда өңкей жастар кепті. Бұл өте құптарлық жайт.
Abai's art and philosophy remain strikingly relevant even after a century. They inspire deep thought and personal reflection. Theater becomes a channel, a dialogue between the thinker and each new generation, and that dialogue never loses its power. Perhaps that's why the tradition was born to open each season with Abai. This opera is like a mirror of time, where every viewer can glimpse our past, our present, and our future.
Thank you.